I'm just going to push record.
Wow. Look at you go.
Yeah, look, I have
Just like that.
I feel so unprepared because I haven't run around and done my dance and done all of my stuff.
Well, that obviously says you don't really need to.
We had a conversation about the hello intro.
Yes.
And you were kind of like, I think a couple of weeks ago or maybe a couple of months ago, you were like, oh, is it cringy? Am I sick of doing it? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I had the idea to, what if we integrate it into our little jingle?
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? We've had the same jingle for a while. Why don't we update the jingle, make it a bit more personable? And I thought what could be fun is if right now, as our intro, we play it on the podcast.
Wow.
And record it into the show.
Oh.
Yeah?
So you've made it.
I made it, yeah.
Oh
I made it yesterday.
I'm so excited.
Did you not know this?
Well, I knew you were tinkering around with something. I didn't know you'd finished it.
Yeah. But
okay.
look, it's going to be a work in progress.
All
We're going to
right.
update it.
Okay.
Yeah. But here it is.
Okay, I'm excited.
Maddie kicking us off in 3, 2, 1.
Hello?
I didn't kiss anyone. He was a real bad boy.
Anyone want a titty squeeze?
What is that? What's that instrument?
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Wow.
There you
That
go.
was cool.
Did you like it?
I did.
What did you think about the addition of the 303?
The what?
Come on, Maddie. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do it.
It's a little box
It's the little box, the musical instrument. Did you hear?
with the buttons.
Yeah. But did you hear that? The sound of it, the instrument.
Yeah.
I had to manually program that in.
Wow.
I had to figure out the keys, set it up. I'm telling you, this 303, it's going to pay for itself.
Well, that is just delightful news.
Are you upset that there's the 303 in our jingle?
No, it can stay for the moment.
For the moment, yeah, it's not the best. I'll work on it. You know.
I'm impressed.
And I will say, if you're a long-time fan of the show, which I know there's a few of them, tell us if you know what episode all of those came from, because they all came from the one episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it episode 1?
Maddie, what did I just say? I just said...
Well, I'm trying to guess
Okay,
now.
it's not episode 1.
I'm a long-time fan.
That's true. It's not episode 1.
Okay, well, I just gave it away for everyone.
Well, no, you
I just think, I
well,
knocked that
it's
one
not
out of
one.
the equation. It's not 1, everybody. Just
It's not
there's
1.
a little clue for
Yeah,
you.
it's
It's not number 1.
And we've got prizes if you can guess.
Oh, what's the prize?
I don't fucking know. We'll get a sticker made or something. We should get stickers. We should get merch.
We should get merch.
Yeah.
T-shirts.
There's a picture of my butthole.
Mugs.
Oh, and it's my butthole. Doesn't
Well,
even have to remember that logo.
Lucky duck.
Okay, so
Well, we've had a day of good weather. Yes,
We've had a day of good
yesterday,
weather.
not really today, but you know what happened? We got to go down to the beach for pretty much the first time.
yeah, since
we
we've moved
here.
up here.
The weather has been 90% rain since we've moved here.
I know, and there's been floods and stuff.
Floods, yeah,
it's been
bad and
crazy.
scary.
And at night, we don't hear, because we're used to living in, well, I for a long time lived in apartments and stuff. This is like a house, and you hear the rain on the roof, and it's
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, it's nice, but it was very heavy.
It
at
was a
one
lot.
point, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was just
I
above, like,
usually love it. Well, you know, I listen to rain noises every night.
Speaking of
to
noises,
sleep.
speaking of
Why?
noises,
Oh God.
let's update for the Facebook Marketplace story.
Oh yeah.
The Aldi coffee machine.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, listen, we were absolutely
Oh,
again.
It's a shame.
If you listen to last week, we had a new segment that we tried, Facebook Marketplace Stories. I think most of the fans said it was the best segment we've ever done. But we told the story about how I went and picked up from an older couple, and I didn't want to leave. They were the nicest, sweetest people. And we got home, and you were like, we cannot fault it.
It was an Aldi coffee machine.
Yep.
Yeah. And well, you made coffee with it the other morning.
This
And
weekend.
I will say it has been a dream until this point. I don't know if something you've done.
I didn't do anything.
Because you haven't really
But
used it.
But we put for the first time. We've used it again and again. It's been
Yeah.
fine, nice and
Really quiet.
whispery. Just
Yeah.
I'm making. I swear I heard in the wind. I'm making coffee for you. Like I heard that, and it had it sounded like the milk warmer had a nervous breakdown.
The milk frother.
The milk frother.
It started screaming.
It was like it just.
Scream.
I was impersonating a guy screaming. I was mouthing a guy screaming, and you couldn't tell the difference. It was screaming.
And I'm worried it's going to do it every time now.
Well, it has done it every time
It did
since.
do it this morning.
Yeah.
It's a shame, isn't it? But you did point out that we could maybe take it back to the nice old couple and they could probably fix it for us.
Well, I said it gives us an excuse to revisit.
Exactly.
And they'll get out all their little springs and go, oh, hang on a second. I'll go, look, we'll stay the night, I think.
I think we need to
I think
stay.
we'll just stay.
We'll move in.
When they let us in, as we're we don't even finish explaining what's wrong. We just go, oh, hi, I'm so sorry. Look, did you ever have problem? You know what? We'll stay the night. We'll stay. We
Don't
just
even
push
know why
past
we're
them.
there.
We just push past them. And we both get in the bunk beds and I go, can you read us a story? It's like, oh, okay. They would
do
They
it.
were so nice.
That's the
They were
thing,
so
would.
nice.
But we also have a really funny story about yesterday at the beach. We went down to the beach. We took Maddie, the dog, and he was having a grand old time digging in the sand.
He loved it.
We were sitting there just watching the waves. We're not actually not allowed to take our dog on the beach, but everybody does it here.
It's
so we're just like,
I
"Oh,
think
let's
I
just
think
do
it's
it."
more, there's a lot of beaches even in Sydney where it's like this is not a dog beach and every dog owner just goes, hey, they can't stop us all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not going to fine us all.
Mm.
Anyway, Marty was having a great time. This little, probably cavoodle comes bounding up to him, just like absolutely skipping and
Just
frolicking.
On a mission. Just
And his mum, who was, an older, well, not older, but like, a lady. When dogs meet, it's always a bit frantic, isn't it?
It's like
you're sort of.
it's a standoff.
It is a bit of
Yeah.
a standoff. You're trying to sort of make sure your dog's okay and the other dog's okay, and they're not going to have
Are they
a
gonna
thing. And
are they gonna just yeah?
and you don't know whether to talk
wig
to
out?
the person or talk to the dog, and then it's
Yeah.
just a bit. It's chaos.
Mm.
And this little dog was like the definition of ADHD.
Oh, man.
He was like running up and down the beach. He'd run up to Marty and then he'd run away. And the mum's just sort of fussing around, being like, "Oh, Bossy." His name was Boston.
Yeah.
He was probably, she said he was nearly 2. So he was still a bit of a baby. And he's like going it because Marty was chasing sticks and he'd go and steal Marty's stick. And she's like, "Oh, he's not allowed sticks. He's
Yeah.
had an operation."
Yeah.
and then Boston would like run, skip with his like 2 front legs, go and grab the stick and try and eat the stick. And she'd have to try and get it off him. And then she really wanted to leave.
I've never seen so much. Like that's the maybe happiest I've ever seen you. Just
I
watching this
couldn't
lady
stop
charge
laughing.
after this dog. And what was funny was she kept saying in a frantic voice, "I've got to get to pickleball." So it was clearly like, I don't know, she just had the vibe of
running
like
late.
rich lady.
Yes.
And they're like
And her dog just didn't match her style.
no. And it's the funniest thing.
Yes.
Seeing like this is the funniest thing is seeing rich people with
Have a
out of
naughty
control
dog.
dogs.
Yeah.
There's something about them like, yes, this is Henry, and being like, I'm a fucking dog, bro. I don't. You
like
can-
you'd always expect richer people to have like
Have
a
those
really
prissy-
well-behaved dog because they would have
Yeah.
sent them to puppy school and spent all
The
the
dog
money on
that
trainers.
physically shakes your hand and goes, "Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Rex."
But
yeah.
I just found it so hysterical because she was frantically trying to get to pickleball and Bossy was having none of it.
It was so funny.
He was just up and down the beach in the water, just
It was so funny.
he was not coming. She was trying to call him with her and walking away and he wasn't
Nah.
going.
It is so funny. I've been her as well with this.
Bossy.
Oh no, well, just with this, with Marty. Like
I
he was
know,
so not well. I mean,
Well, we can't laugh. That's the thing, because Marty is.
he does it.
He
but
does his own thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit older now though. But it reminds me of when we were down by Rose Bay, like eastern suburbs, and we just see this
Have
like
we
dog.
told this story on the
I don't think
podcast?
so. We just see this dog running past, just goes, tuck, 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 tuck. And then we see this very, very eastern suburbs woman barely catching up, running
In a
down.
bikini.
Yeah, going
Running up the beach after this dog.
and screaming, Clementine, no! Clement! It's like, of course it's called fucking Clementine.
Clementine had escaped.
It was so funny.
Running after her.
It-
I just found it just brought me so much joy just watching Bossy skip around. Just like he just ran in such a funny manner, just with his legs just flailing.
yeah.
And he was so happy.
And when you're like, when you're her, you have to kind of like, you're kind of performing to the people around you.
Exactly.
Oh, God, no, come on. And then you have to be like, okay, I really want to scream at this dog and I can't because people are watching me.
can't.
And the people around, like, we weren't helping. We were
No,
probably
we were
adding.
just laughing.
We were
I
laughing.
didn't do
being like,
anything.
ha, 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 ha. This is funny.
Mind
You're
you.
running. No, I actually pointed at her and said, you're running late for pickleball. How funny is that?
Mind you, we can't talk because when we wanted to go, Marty stole another dog's ball and he just would not let it
Yeah, he
go.
locked his fucking jaw. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
got our karma, don't worry.
Yeah, so that was the Marty update. Hey, so something I've wanted to, do as a, have maybe as a segment or a bit on this podcast for a very long time. And we tried to do it, I think not last episode, the episode before. And I think we just got to do it. I think I've just got to not censor myself, not stop myself, and just say we're laying it down because it is so funny.
It's time.
It's time, and it's to do with what you do for work.
Yeah, this has been a long running joke between Danny and I for months now.
And I really just selfishly want to immortalize this bit because we have so much fun with it. But I
It
also
comes up daily.
and I also think it's the bit that keeps on giving as well. And I think the context is I've really tried to think about this and be like, how do I minimize this without
yeah.
throwing 20 minutes of exposition down their throats? But I think the absolute minimum of it was you started this job. You've become, I think, quite passionate about this job, which is great. And you take pride in your work. We've relocated up here.
Yeah.
You now, before you'd go out, for those of you who don't know, do you want to, what do you do for work, Maddie?
Well, I look after indoor plants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you
That's it.
plant maintenance.
Yes.
If you go to a Westfield or if you go to any sort of corporate building and you see those plants, you now know somebody put those plants in. Somebody visits those plants. Somebody looks after those plants.
Yeah.
And gets paid to.
Most people think they're fake. I get that all the time.
I honestly probably was one of those people.
They say,
Yeah.
they're like, I thought they were fake. When I'm
even listen to the way that you talk. And if you know this already, like Maddie drives around in a tradie van. You used to drive around with someone else, and now you run solo.
I'm by myself.
You're by yourself
Yeah.
out in the world, and that just morphed into this bit of you just taking such pride in your work and
too enthusiastic about the job, I think. And
too enthusiastic about the job.
And so Danny's made many, many jokes about me getting, sort of like a cop might get a call at 3 a.m. and have to go out to a crime scene. Where I would get called out at 3 a.m. for a plant emergency.
Yes.
And I'd have a gun. And like I'm sort of like an old cop that's been on the job for too long, and I'm like really jaded. And I always bring like I'm armed when I go to work.
You are. You bring a gun. You bring a gun.
Like it's that serious. That I get a call at 3 a.m. that there's kids vandalizing these plants, like my plants, my roses or something. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And, you do that voice for me, that squeaky voice.
Yes, Maddie.
We call that the Maddie voice.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's my character.
Yeah.
And I answer the phone at 3 a.m. and I don't know, my manager's name is Brownie, right? So you always imagine that Brownie's calling me or I'm calling Brownie for some sort of plant emergency.
Yeah. And then so we did that, and then that morphed into you just being out on the road and just just playing,
Getting called to a job.
just playing Lagrange, just
By CC
just
Top.
on repeat, just.
She plants.
Like me going out because the plants are shit and me having to salvage them.
Yeah, and look, so I think like it's one of those bits where maybe anyone who hears this is going, this is not funny. It's a you guys thing.
It could be an us thing.
But I'm not giving up on it. I think it's really funny, and I
Yeah.
think that what I'd like to do is maybe a weekly or bi-weekly segment where we check in with you about your work, and where we just see how Maddie's going, and then we just constantly are able to morph it into.
I put my sunnies on. I'm driving the van.
Okay, so tell us.
Heading to the job.
So did you have anything? So we're starting this now. This is Maddie's weekly work. What's the name of the segment?
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot like that.
In the Weeds with Maddie.
Oh, that's funny.
There you go. In the Weeds with Maddie. So, Maddie, this week, did you have anything eventful happen at work?
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah. So there's a. Stop it. Sometimes I actually get things.
Yeah. Oh, what did you
Like
get this
I get
week?
bonuses.
Why did you get a bonus?
Well, so when you
Hey,
work at-
Hey, Brownie, saw someone ripping off a plant. I ripped off his fucking head.
So when you work at businesses and when at Westfields and stuff, they sort of get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and got a coffee the other day at Donut King, and he must have seen me around sort of working on the plants and stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
And he just gave me 2 free donuts.
Do you know what this is?
What?
I think what this really is if in my opinion, I think because he knows that you're the local sheriff in town, you know? I think that's what's going on.
Not.
I think honestly, I think he sees you coming and he goes, hang on, is that Maddie? Wait a minute.
I'm walking in slow mo and I'm taking my sunnies off.
You walk in. You walk in, you go,
Hey, what happened to those plants? We've been doing this Lagrange bit for so long.
I know. We need to move on.
no, I don't mean on the podcast. I mean in our life.
Oh yeah, in
It's
our
been
life it
going
has
on
been.
for weeks.
Oh, so long.
Yeah, okay, so you get bonuses. So I think what's going on in the Weeds with Maddie is, I think obviously what's happening is you, they know you and they respect you, and they probably saw you kicking the shit out of those teenagers one
That
time.
were ruining my plants.
Yeah, like they sat there and they were they were on their skateboards and people were like, oh, they need to leave, and you were like,
They're just a bunch of kids, whatever.
and then you saw one of them flick ash on the plants, and you went,
Oh, they do
Right.
do that. Yeah.
Now it's personal. I'll be back, guys.
Start cleaning my machine gun.
have you seen? Oh, maybe we could watch it tonight. Have you seen Shanghai Noon?
No.
Oh, this is bringing it back to the podcast. Fucking great nostalgia movie. It's Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. I honestly think it would still hold up. Like
Okay.
it's kind of dumb,
Yeah.
but it's set in the old West.
When was it made? I don't like westerns very much.
No, it's not a Western. It's a really funny. Like we watched Rush Hour and we loved that. Remember, I showed you Rush Hour.
That
You hadn't
wasn't
seen
a
it.
Western.
No, I'm not saying it's a Rush Hour. I'm not saying it's a Western. I'm just saying it's the same sort of genre
Okay. Yeah.
as like a Jackie Chan movie.
Okay. Sure.
And anyway, there's a scene that uses Lagrange.
Oh,
And
that's where
Jackie
you got it
Chan.
from.
Well, Jackie Chan kicks the shit out. So it's like, and because he gets thrown out of a saloon,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, that's it. I'm gonna go full Jackie Chan mode." And then it's like, it kicks in.
Yeah.
And it kicks the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, that's how you see me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I see you as this,
One thing that
But
did happen.
it's crazy. They pay their respects to you, Maddie. I just want to go back. Sorry, I do want to let you go on, but they pay. This is them like you're the
They're
you're the
buying me
local.
off.
This is the local sheriff like paying the mafia. This is the protection because you
Right.
protect the plants.
That
Yeah,
makes
sorry, go on.
sense. So one thing that did happen that did piss me right off though.
Hang on, I just got to cue up
was-
Lagrange. Yeah, go on.
I came out to one of the outdoor gardens I look after, and there were these painters, and they were painting the back wall of where this garden was, and they'd splattered paint all over my plants. And, I just looked at them and tilted down my sunnies. I was like, hey, boys.
Hey, guys.
What's going on out here?
You paint some stuff, huh?
What are you? And when you told me this, I said you start getting out a sniper rifle and putting it together.
Yes,
Just casual
Like,
conversation.
what are you doing?
not much.
Just adjusting the scope.
Yes,
So,
I look after the plants around these parts,
But I did give them a very dirty look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. See, you got an eventful. It's an important job, and I mean that sincerely.
I know.
It's one of those things and I'm saying this truthfully from the heart, like because I'm not making fun. Because it's one of those things that you wouldn't know the difference until it was gone.
Yes, I
Do you
say
know what
that
I mean?
all the time.
Yeah, you wouldn't know if you
don't notice the
if you had
plants.
shit plants
She plants.
or if the plants weren't there.
Yes,
you
you would
wouldn't know. You
notice.
wouldn't know. You wouldn't be able to do it. It's the same if you've got a good. Well, it's not the same at all. I'm trying to relate it to mine, and every thought that goes into my brain, I'm not expressing it because I'm like, man, you're going to sound like a douchebag if you're liking this to filmmaking or DJing.
Okay.
Moving on.
So for episode, what number are we on?
I think we're on 34, and we don't need to do the intro because we already did it.
I know.
There you go.
I thought.
Yeah.
Well, we thought.
Yeah.
We would talk about prank calls.
And the home phone.
Yeah.
We may call this episode the home phone, because a lot of stuff happens, and we're talking about the 90s or like 2000s when you had the phone.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
had the home
The
phone,
landline.
that was also the era of prank calls.
Yes.
Prank calls really aren't a thing anymore, and I think it's because nobody communicates on the phone.
Well, it's also because your number comes up on the screen.
That's true, but
But
you can call from
yeah,
private.
I know,
yeah.
yeah.
Nobody calls from private anymore.
Well, they do, and you just don't answer it. That's the thing.
I got a lot of funny stories. We also put something out on Instagram. I'll just double check if anybody actually responded.
And no.
No one.
Who answers
Let
the
me just
phone
double
anymore,
check.
though? I actually want to know. I don't.
You don't answer. Hang on a second.
No,
Just give me one
Not
sec.
at all.
No. Cherie, did anyone reply to you?
No.
Guys, do you guys even like this podcast? No, I'm joking. People are busy. User-generated content's tough.
Does
but we thought
anyone
we'd give it a go.
like us? That's what I wonder.
Yeah, who cares? Well, Cherie responded.
Oh,
But
go
she
on.
responded with, no, I don't want to start with mine because mine's heavy.
Oh.
No, it's no.
What?
You'll see. Cherie did respond with some stuff that I was already going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of my prank call stories are with Cherie.
Okay.
But why don't we just talk about the home phone in general?
Do you remember when, like, the time the internet happened and you had to switch to, not being able to use the phone? If
That's
you're on the
right.
internet?
The internet took the phone line.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you had to kick people off if you wanted to use the phone.
Yeah. This might be the first episode where the way we're talking and what we're actually talking about, you would assume that this was the podcast. And right up until this moment, it has not been at all. Especially the 20-minute opening about shit, plans. But this is the first time we're
My
like,
apologies.
this is
for
literally,
that.
I feel like the first time we're actually going, how crazy was the 90s? It took us 34 episodes, but we got
to
there.
actually talk about relatable things. Like, all of it has just been,
So this happened to me. What happened to
Miss
you?
Biddle.
It's all these people that we don't know.
Sorry about that.
No, look, I do remember, and you had the home phone,
Yeah.
which was always for me corded on the wall.
Okay, yours was on the
few
wall.
different handsets.
Oh, you had different handsets. What?
We had a couple of different. No,
Not
like
just
a couple.
one phone.
You had one phone.
Yeah.
We might have in the first place, but
How many?
Well, no, because we lived in Beacon Hill in two different places, right?
Yeah.
The first place we lived in was it wasn't big enough because we came back from America. Maddie.
He's trying to sit on top
buddy,
of our
come
equipment.
on.
Oh, buddy. He's such a stalk.
God, you're a silky boy.
So in your first house, you had one.
Well, I feel like we had, I don't know, Cherie or Matthew, please let me know. Because Matthew's going to remember the first Beacon Hill place more than me. And Cherie, in fact. But I've got very little memories of that house. I remember sharing a room with Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
We must have had a phone. But
In the bedroom.
No, in the house.
Yeah.
Like we must have had a phone, but I don't remember. Because I was
Yeah.
like 4 or 5.
Mm.
But when we went to the new place, I remember having a few.
Yeah.
There was one in the kitchen.
Mm.
Maybe one in the rumpus room, but I feel like no's. I feel like it might have been the kitchen and mum and dad's room.
Yeah.
I think that was literally it.
Ours was sort of halfway between the kitchen and the dining room, I think.
And you had the one thing.
We had one phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember it being quite fancy because we went. No,
Ooh.
not our phone, but
Okay.
the cordless phone.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool because you could walk around the house with it.
Before we get to that, I've got a story about the corded phone where, do you remember like 3-way calls?
Yeah,
you could do
that
3,
was like
4-way
the
calls.
height of technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you could dial someone else in.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
awesome, wasn't it?
And you could sit there and talk to a few
Loved
people.
that.
And it was kind of like our MSN before MSN.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was maybe even in primary school. And
Well, it was the original group chat.
yeah, but I remember being in my mum and dad's room while they were asleep, laying on the floor, talking on the phone to my friends and whispering.
Why?
I don't remember. I just...
Why? Wait, was the only phone in their room at that point?
It's such a good question. It must have been. Yeah, why didn't I just go out to the other room? I don't know, but I just remember being there.
So funny.
Yeah. It was
because
weird.
you couldn't go far. They had the curly cords.
Yeah, no, you
couldn't
couldn't.
go
Those
far.
Telstra, I wonder how much they were. They mustn't have been that much money, right?
Phones.
Yeah. No, I mean like when they first came out, like OG Telstra headsets. I'm sure it was, and there must have been plans where they're like, we'll hook it up and we'll give you a phone, you know?
Yeah, like there is
Like,
now.
yeah, I guess so. But I mean, when it first came out,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's when it's like,
probably.
it first comes out and it's like a premium product.
Because did any of your friends not have a phone?
Oh, great question. I remember this girl, Chloe, having a number because she was with there was some weird thing about her phone company and her number started with a 7.
Oh.
You know, because I don't know what did your number start with? Because ours always started with 99. There was other people that had 94.
Really?
Yeah, it started with 9.
Wait, but 02 though, right?
Yeah, 02. But then the
Okay.
first few
Right.
letters, few numbers was always 9.
Oh.
So like 94811, you know, like was the Pizza
Mhm.
Hut. Whereas if it was different if you were in Brisbane or whatever, or even like Kiama, it would start with like a 4. It was like 024. What did do you remember your house phone number?
That's a good question.
Let's call it right now.
No, I don't, unfortunately. But you did have it memorized as a kid.
I remember both of them.
Do you?
Yeah.
What a memory.
I am happy to say them both. because I've since tried them and they both don't work.
No, well, you wouldn't think so.
Yeah. No, because people can take, they can go back and
no
recycle.
one has a landline anymore.
It's true. It's true. If you
Unless
do,
it's a business.
if you do, that's insane. Kinda.
That's so
Yeah,
insane.
Yeah.
Your parents, no.
Should. They should.
Oh, they should.
They
Yeah,
100%
You
should.
told them
I've,
to.
I've had multiple conversations
Yeah.
where I'm like, you guys
need a
landline.
They're constantly losing their mobile
And they don't
phones.
fucking answer it. It's crazy.
Oh, my thing's gone. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Maddie.
Buddy. He's like,
You're
He's
pushing
just
me.
so insistent on being on our equipment tonight.
So, what were we talking about?
So you were whispering on your parents'
ask me the
bedroom
water?
floor.
Yeah. So that was
Talking to your friend. What were you talking about?
just like giggling and being silly. And it was girls, I'm pretty sure.
You
And
were
I think,
talking to girls?
yeah.
Oh, you weren't talking to your friends. Or your
I had a-
girlfriends.
Yeah. I can't remember, I know it was girls and maybe another guy, I think.
What,
yeah.
you called multiple people?
Yeah, it was like a 3-way call.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to, I think the next episode after this is potentially going to have to be MSN because there's a lot of, did you get on MSN?
Yeah, I
All
got
right.
on MSN.
All right, well, we'll save that for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say the sleepover was a big prank call environment,
yes.
wasn't it?
Now, before I go on to that, what I want to ask you, right, because, and I feel like so many stand-ups have made this joke, especially if they're Gen Xers or whatever, where they talk about like, you kids don't know the pain of it of like when you were dating someone
Yeah.
and you had to call and speak to their parents.
Yes.
Now, this has been talked about to death in like different stand-up jokes and whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering if you've got any specific stories or if that, because I don't have any specific stories, but I do remember it was always so uncomfortable when you were like a little kid. Like imagine
Yeah.
having kids, imagine being our parents' generation
Yeah.
and being like, your stupid friend has called our house phone. And they're like, and then you're like, I'm taking this in the other room. Like, what do you guys have to talk about?
Yeah.
I would sit on the phone for hours, Maddie. Literally.
Yes. I always remember, I can't remember which sister it was, but she...
Oh, yeah, you had 3 girls. It would have been a nightmare. The phone would have been off the hook the whole time.
It was. And I think it was probably Phoebe, my older sister. She used to talk to her friends for ages after school. And I just remember thinking, like, what are you talking about that cannot either be spoken about on that day or the next day at school?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, it was probably bitching about people, right? But what else would it be about? Yeah, that's the thing. I remember talking for so long on the phone.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
the fuck were we talking about?
What did we talk about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I still talk on the phone.
Well, yeah, you do.
I love it.
You're a big phone talker.
I'm a phone talker.
I never talk on the phone except to my mum. You love calling people. Every time you go out and come back, I assume you're going to be on the phone to someone.
It's my chat time.
And you are.
It's my chat time.
Every time.
Yeah.
And if you're not, I'm like, what's wrong? Why haven't you called anyone?
You're like, no one answered today, huh? Couldn't
They're
get
all
anyone.
screening your calls, aren't
Couldn't
they?
get anyone on the phone, huh?
Which is crazy because you call people a lot for your job as well. You just love it.
I do, yeah. Well, I don't know. It's good to catch up with
It's good
people
to
and
connect,
it's,
isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Or not be alone with your thoughts. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was it. But
Yeah, no, I don't have any specific memories of talking to my friend's parents, but I think it was mostly just, oh, hi, it's me. Can I speak to name a friend?
did you, because you had a myriad of boyfriends in primary school, which a few have come up. We've had Tyler, we've had Angelo, we've had Jake, we've
And
had
most recently,
drum roll, Robert.
and one that you haven't heard of yet,
Oh God!
Nick.
Get in primary school.
You know what? It was very late year 6, and we kind of tried
Excuse
to
me.
make it work.
Excuse me.
Long
Excuse me.
distance.
I'm stopping you right there. I need to start charting this and make sure that you've got your timelines in order because Robert was late in year 6. You're telling me that you squeezed in one more?
I think so.
I swear the last year 6 journal entry was like September. Yeah, like October, September, something like that. And you squeezed in one more. You're like,
Yeah, I'm bored now. Attention!
over the loudspeaker.
Attention, gentlemen.
Attention! Attention, gentlemen! This is Maddie here. I have a couple of free months for friends. If anyone wants to put in their applications, please go to the front office.
Go to the front office.
Go to the front office. I'll be taking applications for a boyfriend for the next 3 months. Robert, you're obviously excluded because you were fucking boring. Tyler, you're not here anymore. And Jake, no. You had your chance, sweetheart.
What do you mean? Nick!
Which is so funny because now that's the name
Did you-
of
and
my
also-
Phoebe's long-term boyfriend.
And also, did you say we tried to make it work? Like you somehow got into an in-depth relationship between September? You're
No,
like,
I mean-
you're like week 2. You're like, look, this isn't really. I don't feel it, but I want to listen. And you're holding his hand.
try and
I
make it
really want
work.
to try and make this work because I don't want to be alone and bored for the next 2 months. No, go on.
No,
sorry.
no. So we tried to make it work long distance because I went to high school. He was a year
Oh.
below me.
What?
I thought Beth would be Beth and that.
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. But
It kind of works.
it kind of actually works because it actually works perfectly because,
my mum wouldn't approve.
and also I think that you wouldn't. I didn't think you'd go for a younger guy at that age, or
I thought Beth would be Beth and that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. The boys, I haven't mentioned this, but the boys in the year below me were much hotter than the ones in my year.
Wow.
They were a lot cuter.
Hang on. Don't worry.
What are you going to find?
Is it?
There you go. It took me so long
you
to
a while
find.
there. Yeah. So Nick, we went on a date.
I thought you said we were on a honeymoon.
We went to the movies.
Oh! Who cares about landlines and phone calls?
Yeah, but the cute thing that does tie it back in is that he did invite me over the phone
Oh,
to go to a movie.
my heart just flooded. I love
know,
this
it was
already. Okay,
really
tell me,
cute.
wait. What movie? You gotta remember. You gotta remember.
Oh, I wish I could.
Come on.
It would have been.
Okay, hang
What's
on.
a big movie? Yeah, we have to look
what
it
year?
up now.
What year?
It would have been.
Come on.
Oh,
Okay, you're
2012, I guess.
2012. No, it was not.
It was
Honeypot.
2001.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're like 22 in 2012.
Oh, sorry. No, it was 2012. I was 22.
No.
Nick was in year 5. It was 2000.
You're like, he was so cute.
Yeah,
I
it
went
would
to jail for a while.
would have had to have been. Yeah, 2002. Try 2002.
Wait, can we just 100% confirm? Year 6, 2002.
Well, I would have been going into year 7. So
Yeah.
12, that seems right.
You know what? Okay, we're back. So we have deduced
Deduced.
that
It
was
was in fact
2002.
2002.
So I'm going to read the movies that I'm going to actually look at all of the movies that I think it could be.
Oh, it'll be so funny
Ooh.
if it comes to me.
Okay, all right. So here's what I remember. I'm going to read some of the ones that I remember or that I look at and I go, I think you or me would have seen that as kids. There's
Yeah.
some like The Sum of All Fears, which no.
No.
Okay. I remember seeing this at the movies. The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider.
No, I don't think it was that.
Okay.
It wasn't Rude from what I can recall.
Wasn't Root. Lilo and Stitch.
No.
Austin Powers, Gold member.
No.
So you're in year 6. It had to have appealed to a year 6 Kung Pao. No,
No.
the new guy. Do you remember? Was it a kids movie? Was it a Catch Me If You Can? No,
Was that 2002?
apparently.
What?
Yeah. Bowling for Columbine,
Oh,
the
I
Michael
hope
Moore
not.
document. Imagine if he was like, "Hello,
Jeez.
Hi, Maddie. It's Nick here. I would like to ask you out on a romantic evening to go and see Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine. It's a documentary about gun violence in the United States. It draws from the Columbine High School massacre.
sorry." Your mum's just on the phone, just sitting there listening, going,
And I'd like to ask you,
like he asks her permission, but he just keeps talking about Bowling for Columbine.
did you know?
So many facts about it.
Did you know?
He's like, I've already seen it once.
I've
great-
already seen it. It's a
Great
great
educational
great
film.
educational film. Did you know that Charlton Heston from the NRA, he went and held a gun up at a gun rally just days after the Columbine High School's massacre?
Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, God. Bend it like Beckham. Scooby-Doo. Like Mike. Ali G into house.
It might have been LG.
This is what this podcast is reduced to, is just me naming movies from that
Oh
era.
God, desperate times.
Oh, Ice Age.
Oh, it might have been Ice Age.
Shut up.
It could have been, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it might have been Ice Age.
Hey, Maddie. It's Nick. I would like to invite you out on a glorious...
I just love him pitching the movie over the phone.
He tells me a bit about it.
Yeah, he tells you.
No, it was very cute.
He reads the synopsis. Manny the mammoth, Sid the loquacious sloth, and Diego the saber-toothed tiger go on a comical quest to return a human baby back to his father. Does that sound up your alley?
No, it was cool. We went to the Dendy in Byron, and they had these sort of just bean bags.
Can I just say, as much...
It was so romantic.
I know, but also, can I just say, what a legend as well, calling you up, asking you out on a
I
date
know.
at that young age.
What a man.
Okay, that felt loaded. That felt loaded. Yeah, what a man. That's what men do, Daniel. That's a man.
You asked me on dates. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, what are your prank call stories?
No, I
Are
think
you
this
not
is what
ready?
this story. I think this is what the episode's about now. I have 1 million more questions about Nick. No, I'm joking.
okay.
That's fine. No,
Off you go.
but can we just finish with, okay, how did it end, Nick?
How did it end with Nick?
Yeah. Oh, because the
Oh, we
long
didn't-
distance didn't
yeah, we
work.
didn't-
You
didn't
didn't just
work.
ghost him, did you?
No.
No.
It ended amicably because of
Right.
I was in high school.
Yeah.
And he was,
In
he
primary
was
school.
doing his year 6 life, and I was moving
That
up.
would have been embarrassing. Like, oh, my boyfriend's in year 6.
Yeah.
Fair. I've got a great story.
Okay.
I've got
You tell your story.
I've had go
and
on.
then maybe we could do a part 2.
Ooh.
Because people might give us stories.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. So we're doing a part 2,
Maybe.
and people will think, oh wow, they got so many submissions that they had to do a part 2
Exactly.
because they won't actually listen and go, no, they just crapped on about Maddie's boyfriend Nick
Younger boyfriend.
the whole time. We will do a part 2, I think, because I've got other stories that I would like to share. Ones that
Yeah.
are funny,
Mm.
ones that I feel a bit of guilt
Oh, no.
about, and we won't do that on this particular episode. I'll do that next time. And then also a recurring prank call that actually happened to me for, I think, about a year.
What?
And to this day, I still don't know who did it.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that on the next episode.
Okay, can't
Yeah.
wait.
But and the reason why I'm saying that is because so this is the story that I want to talk about. So me and Cherie used to make prank calls right?
Yeah,
My
Cherie is your older sister.
my older sister Cherie, and I remember this was before. This was like when companies started using phone numbers and phones and everything like that, and it was just a very like kids would just use it to fuck with, and that was like their fun time. I remember I had KFC delivered to my friend's house.
That's a good prank.
Yeah, but then they just thought, oh no, that wasn't us, but we hadn't planned dinner, and they just paid for it.
Oh.
I think. And then I said to him
It's
the
a
next day,
convenient
"Did you
prank."
get it?" And I was like, "That was me." That prank. And then the parents got mad and then told my parents. I was like, "I delivered KFC to your house."
Yeah, but you didn't pay for it.
Yeah, but come on. Like as if, come
Oh,
on.
they paid for it.
I don't know if they pay for it. I could be making that up. But also, if they didn't pay for it and they just sent the KFC back, they shouldn't give a fuck. They should go, ah, ha, 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 that's funny. But anyway, so there was all of that kind of stuff. But then, I don't know if you remember this, but back in sort of the, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s, there were these phone lines that you could call.
Mm.
And Cherie, when she messaged me, it was like, oh yeah, it was the phone sex line. But it wasn't. When I've just remembered, I'm like, we call it that and that's how we remember it. But it actually wasn't.
Okay.
What it was like a phone dating service.
Oh.
It was like a phone line that you rang.
Mm.
And from memory, similar to kind of a lot of these apps that get set up, from memory, you could not pay if you were female, right? If you were
Right.
female, it was free
Mm.
because they needed more girls,
Okay.
right? Because heaps of guys would sign up. So they charged the guys. The girls, I think, set up one for free. So, and basically you leave a voicemail that says who you are,
Oh wow.
yeah, what you kind of look like, whatever.
Mm.
This is pre-internet. This isn't like that. There wasn't any photos or anything.
Mm.
And you describe how you look like, what you like, all of this kind of stuff. And then you leave, for the profiles that kind of sound a thing, you leave little voice notes.
Oh my god.
And you can kind of start on this little service and then exchange, details,
Messages.
whatever. So anyway, me and Cherie set one up. We set a profile up. Right. And I was telling her about this before. She doesn't remember it as much. And there's one particular thing that that happened that I will never, ever forget. And I remember in detail because of how funny and insane it was. Right. So we had a shared profile, and from memory, we were taking turns. So like she recorded the thing,
Yeah.
and then I just put on the voice of a
woman's
girl,
voice.
and then we just like take turns. Like thinking about it now, it probably was so clearly two different people. Not only two different people, but
Two
probably
different kids.
probably kids. But at the same time, where I will show a bit of like whatever, the phone was new, and the maybe even concept of like people using it for the wrong reason just didn't even cross your mind. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we set up this profile, and I got to tell you, when I'm recording these voice notes for these guys, this was like my first acting gig. Like I'm becoming the character. I'm really embodying the character.
Not
right?
surprised.
And we start leaving these voice notes for this guy, and this is the thing that I don't remember is how it got to this part.
Oh no.
But he was sending the kinkiest,
Oh no.
most insane
Oh.
messages, specifically about, and look, if this is too messed up, we can cut it out. Specifically about wanting this woman that me and
You.
Cherie were playing
Okay.
to take a shit and put it in the oven. And all of the messages and details were around the temperature of the oven, were around how long, was like putting honey on it, putting it on his body.
Oh.
And he was doing a voice, and he's going, oh yeah, baby, blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
Like he was really almost like doing an accent, like a voice, all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, when you hear that story, and even when I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, maybe that was somebody else that was fucking around. But this is how the story ends. Because again, I wouldn't just come on here and kink shame and be like, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. You know, if you're into scat play, you're into scat play. That's fine, right? But then, after an entire night of us sending these messages back and forth, the next day, he sends a message. We wake up with a message. He's dropped the voice, right? And he's gone, hi, Cherie thinks we had our name as Tegan. That was the thing. So he's like, let's put it like the night before, not even 12 hours before. Oh, baby, put your shit in the oven. Oh, I want you to shit on me. Put it in the oven, yeah. The next morning. Hi, Tegan. It's Mike here. Look, I've really enjoyed having a chat, but, I think it'd be really great if we, maybe talked about some other stuff, maybe pulled it back and just got to know each other a bit more. I like surfing. I like this. I like that. We should chat.
All right.
And I'm just like,
Okay.
again, that's stuck in my brain as a kid. And I just like, it's such a wild, like he just woke up going, oh God, what did I do last night? Oh, like I can picture him playing back all the messages going, oh God.
Yeah, he listens.
Oh, I
to them
really
again.
got carried away last night.
God, how much did I drink?
And then being like, all right, let me just shoot my shot with her.
Let me start over.
And I actually just remember, and I was saying this to Cherie, it was like, I don't know if I was still in character, but I remember being a little bit pissed off. Being like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he started that.
You brought us to this, you brought us into the den. You can't just go, oh, nah, not anymore. Nah, just...
It was his idea.
It was your idea. You can't, we were in the middle of a session,
I mean, you
I would
can't
say.
take the poo out of the oven once
No.
it's already...
Mike, the poo's in the oven. I'm sorry. That's what I should have done.
can't take it back.
I wish, and I'm pretty sure I remember writing back and being like, what's wrong, Like, I remember I was like, that was the voice that did, like, what's wrong, baby? Why? Why didn't you want to put the poo in the oven? You know, like, what?
The smell's already all through the house. We can't take it back now. Sorry, I'm just imagining the smell in the oven.
It was
In the oven is so...
it's so specific.
so specific.
Yeah.
And just a destructive sort of act.
And I remember. And listen, I got to say, me and Cherie were very, very, very young.
Yeah, how
I
old?
almost didn't say it was my sister because I was like, is that weird? But then it was like, oh, just... I think Cherie, when we spoke on the phone, the words alarmingly young were used.
Oh, no.
Like, yeah, super young.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
Too young to be
Listen
thinking about.
to a 40-year-old man talk about putting shit in the oven? Probably. But I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's,
So none of that, you don't remember any story about the phone, not phone sex lines, but like that, like a chat room on phones?
No, I don't think I ever got into that. But I don't know, I think I have a vague memory of, was there a number you could call and it like called you back or it insulted you or something like that?
It insulted
or-
you?
I don't know. I seem to have vague memories of that, but
It
that-
called you... Wait, sorry. Sorry.
if that's not true,
Did
that's
you
a
feel
weird
like
thing that came out of my mouth. Look it up.
You're like, well, we had this phone line in Tamworth, and you just called it, and then it called you back and just called you a piece of shit. And it did it every day. And it was one of the most popular...
Imagine. It
It's
probably
not even
did
it's not even
exist.
a recorded message. It's a guy. Yeah, hi, this is Rob from 1-800-INSULT. You're a piece of shit.
1-800 insult. Well, we use the 1-800 reverse a lot.
That was a
That was
thing.
a good one.
That was a thing. The
Mm.
1-800 reverse.
And the hash star, and you could find out what the number was.
Who
that
called you? Yeah,
Mm.
for sure. Yeah.
We used that.
Yeah, I did. I definitely used 1-800-REVERSE a lot. Yeah, I actually tried to look up who started 1-800-REVERSE, and he ended up selling it, and it didn't make any money, but he made so much money.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I think he was already like a business tycoon. I should
Good
look
for
it up.
him.
Yeah.
I do have one question about your dalliance with the phone messages.
Thank God that you've got one question, because I was so worried that I just told that story and basically just got from you. All right.
You were
So-
the one that moved it along so quickly. What if your parents had listened to those?
To the messages,
Yeah.
to the putting the shit in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Couldn't that have been a big possibility?
yeah. I feel like yeah. Well, no, because you had to. The weird thing was it wasn't like you had to call the number.
Oh my god.
It was like having your own. You know how you've got voicemail and you've got to call 121.
Yeah.
So it was like, you call and then put in your profile number. And you put the number in. Now put in your password. This number.
Okay.
You have 3 messages.
Right.
Push 1 to listen to messages.
So it wasn't just you picked up the phone and the message played at you.
No, that, Maddie.
That's what I was imagining.
Oh my God! You thought he left it on a home answering machine!
Yeah.
You have 1. Mum and Dad coming in. Yeah, let's have a listen. Oh, hang on a sec, Carol. We got a message. Hang on a sec. You have 1 new message.
Oh, put the shit in the oven. Yes, Tegan. I want to put the shit in the oven.
No, it's like 3 messages. Message deleted.
280 degrees, Tegan. On my body, please.
I think someone's got the wrong number. Me and Cherie running out. No, that's for us.
Don't listen.
Don't listen, that's for us, that's private! That's private, get away!
It was wild. It was wild. It was wild that companies like this that existed and just part of their business model or just it was just so beyond their thinking that like no one said, do we think kids are going to fuck with this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it wouldn't have crossed their mind at all.
No.
No.
Just I think giving anything phone numbers.
How did
I
you-
think prank calling was not something that anyone was prepared for.
No
When they were
one.
setting up, and we'll make a hotline
Yeah.
and you can call up.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can and if you want to order a pizza, you can call up. Like no one said, do we reckon people are going to fuck with us? Because that's exactly what happened.
They didn't think of it.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah. What were you going to say? Sorry.
How did you know? Did you see an advertisement for this service?
We must have, or maybe a TV ad. Yeah, we must have. Like late at night,
And then you stayed up all night just talking shit, so to speak.
talking shit. Yeah. I think that might have been the number we called. Maybe it was a specific one. Do you want to talk about putting shit in the oven? Call talking shit. Yeah. No, I wonder where that guy is. Do you know what I mean? I
I'd
wonder.
like to know.
Could you imagine if he heard this and went, "Oh fuck, I was talking to kids."
Oh.
That would be a big, I just thought like the thing that sticks out about me at about the story for me. And again, like I'm not. Yes, it's funny to get voice notes about putting shit in the oven, but also whatever. People have weird sexual fantasies,
Sure.
right? But it's the turnaround. It's the quick turnaround.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that bugs
He
me a lot.
noticed.
That bugs me a lot.
Yeah,
That he was just
something
like he had
happened.
some sobering moment where he was like, "Oh man, I'm never
Oh,
gonna
what
get a
have I
girlfriend like
done?"
this. I'm just gonna shoot my shot. I always open with the shit in the oven, and it
Never
only
gets
gets
me
me. It
anywhere.
only gets me so far.
It only gets
Yes,
me-
okay, yes, that keeps them on the hook. But then I never actually meet them. Like the fact that he was like, "Oh, look, I think it'd be good to have a deeper connection." I think they were the words he used.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a real moment.
And me just as a little 6-year-old being like, "No, motherfucker, we're still playing shit in the oven." I felt like someone was. I felt like someone was taking my toys away. You know.
You don't think he noticed you doing the voice? He didn't know.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's who fucking knows? I just
But I think the thing that kind of makes it seem like it was authentic from him is the turnaround message of him being like, no, I
Yeah.
actually want to try.
But I do remember
be
at that.
serious
But
about
I do remember at that point. This is funny that I remember this going through my brain because I remember I was so taken back because I'm like, they had the same name, but I was also like, is this someone else that we've been messaging? You know, is this someone else? But then I remember going, no, this is the same guy.
You thought it might have been two people?
Well, because we were messaging a few people, but shit in the oven was for me that took up most of my.
Well, it would.
Well, it took up most of the venture for me,
most
you
of
know,
your,
and
most of your toilet space. Well, thank you for listening to our
send us.
our
Look,
shit.
we're gonna thank you for listening to our shit stories. Listen, send us prank call stories.
Yes, we want to know.
Send us memories. Who did you prank call?
What did you do?
What did you do? And then I'm going to share some deep, dark secrets next episode of these prank calls that I both regret, a prank that happened to me, a prank that me and James did that we got very scared.
Oh,
of doing.
no.
Oh man, we thought something bad was going to happen.
Oh God.
So yeah,
Snake.
there's a we haven't even scratched the surface of prank calls.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe this
Something
is the
to look
home phone.
forward to. Sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thanks for listening. Good night, kids.
Good night, kids.